KSAT 12. Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
Hi, good morning. Happy Tuesday. It is June 4th.
Lower 80s out there yet again to start out our work week day, and Justin Horn is here.
Yeah, guys, and one thing we're going to watch for today is the potential for some record-setting heat. This probably comes as no surprise to you in the way temperatures have been as of late, but we're going to step it up even a little bit more this afternoon. Let me show you some of the highs across the state of Texas. 101 here in San Antonio, which would be a record. The old record is 100, set all the way back in 1916. Del Rio, 106. That would be a record. San Angelo, Abilene, same story. This heat is really starting to kick in here across the state of Texas. Be prepared this afternoon, especially with those heat index values forecast to be up around 105 to 110. Right now, 82 here in San Antonio, 84 New Braunfels, 84 in Seguin, 79 down there in Bernie, and our forecast calls for 94 by noontime. So it is a rapid warm-up. Once we lose these clouds, and it will be, I think, here pretty soon, you'll see these temperatures really jump up. 100 by 4 o'clock. Look at the feels like number 110. That is our high there at 5 o'clock, 101, and it will be slow to cool down this evening. So any outdoor activities, take it easy with partly cloudy to mostly sunny skies later this afternoon. One thing I feel for, folks, I feel for those construction workers, RJ, which will be out and about today.
Yeah, Justin, fortunately, you know what, they do that work overnight, but again, in the overnight hours, we saw temperatures get up to around the low 80s, especially with the humidity, so it has not been great, and things, yeah, especially with our construction workers, any of our individuals that work outside, just keep that in mind. Definitely want to stay hydrated. You also probably going to want to turn up the AC today for sure, especially if you're on 35 northbound right now. This is the biggest incident that we're seeing at the moment. Right now, we have a crash that involved at least that one truck right there, so we do have a wrecker on the scene now. It looked like this truck may have spun on the main lanes there of 35 northbound right there at Judson Road. So still causing some major delays in this area. And we're going to switch over to our maps here in just a bit, kind of give you an indication of some of the backup that we're seeing at the moment right now. So again, here's our crash, 35 northbound Judson Road, a little bit right before you get to Topperwine. Now Topperwine is moving along once you get past this accident, but traffic is built up all the way to O'Connor, all the way up to Weidner in this area. So 35 has been very busy throughout our entire morning as we had overnight construction taking place, and now we have this accident, but it looks like we have the wrecker on the scene and things may get cleared out here pretty soon. We did have a stalled vehicle being reported at the this part of town right here, 35 right before you get to 35 410 at Salado Creek, but it looks like traffic is now moving along pretty smooth in that area. There was a stalled vehicle being reported earlier in that part of town. One more quick look here at the rest of the city of San Antonio, and things for the most part, again, looking pretty good with the exception of our incidents here on the northeast side of town, but everywhere else is looking pretty smooth right now if you're about to step outside. Mark and Stephanie, back to you guys.
Thank you, RJ.
Here's today's 9 at 9.
President Biden is expected to announce an executive order to curb illegal immigration today. The president's sweeping order would effectively shut down the U.S.-Mexico border to asylum seekers crossing illegally when a daily threshold of crossings is exceeded. Mayors from some Texas border cities will be at today's announcement, as well as San Antonio Mayor Ron Nirenberg and Bexar County Sheriff Javier Salazar.
Opening statements are today in Hunter Biden's felony gun charges trial. The jury was seated yesterday. He's the first child of a sitting U.S. president to face criminal prosecution. Hunter's been charged in part with lying on his ATF form when he purchased a firearm. Prosecutors allege he failed to reveal he was a drug addict and actively using narcotics at the time. Hunter has entered a plea of not guilty.
A heat dome is scorching parts of the U.S. Millions of people in the Southwest are under heat advisories today, including us here in San Antonio. Higher temperatures also mean higher air conditioning costs. A new report predicts a sweltering summer will force people to pay about a third more for energy this June through September than in 2019.
A huge recall for thousands of Tesla vehicles due to an issue with the seatbelt warning system. The recall affects certain Model S, Model X, Model 3, and Model Y vehicles from 2012 to 2024. The automaker says it is releasing an over-the-air software update this month. Owners should contact Tesla or check the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration's website for more information.
Americans aren't quite on board with electric vehicles yet. A new AP poll says about 40% of the country is at least somewhat likely to buy an EV next time they buy a car, but nearly 50% say the opposite. High prices and the lack of charging options are the biggest sticking points.
Lower income people are starting to cut back on travel. Commercial real estate data firm CoStar says bookings at mid-scale and economy hotels were down 0.5% in April.
Shares in GameStop shot up nearly 73% in early pre-market trading yesterday. The surge happened in the hours after the trading influencer known as Roaring Kitty revealed he had bought nearly $116 million worth of stock. Yesterday's jump in shares for the video game retailer is a sign that the so-called meme stocks that traders had targeted for a few years now are still in full force.
Another price hike at Spotify starting next month. Premium, Duo, and Family plans will see price increases, with Premium jumping to $11.99 a month. It marks the second increase in a year for some Spotify users.
Instagram appears to be testing ad breaks that force users to watch ads before scrolling. Now, users on Reddit and X report seeing unskippable 3 to 5 second ads between those posts. Now, the feature could become a regular part of Instagram, changing how users experience that platform. And that's today's 9 at 9.
80 morning headlines. Dr. Anthony Fauci gets grilled during a congressional hearing, and New York is cracking down on social media.
Plus, a lawsuit has been filed against a Texas drink company, and she's alive. David Sears is here with those morning headlines.
Grandma, you're back.
Yeah.
Have that for you just a second. The former chief medical advisor to former President Donald Trump and then the current President Joe Biden, Dr. Anthony Fauci, went in front of a select subcommittee of Congress looking into the origins of COVID. Took several shots right to Fauci, who found himself having to put up a pretty stringent defense. One of the main avenues of attack in the recent past, Fauci has said that the 6-foot distancing rule just, quote, sort of appeared.
It actually came from the CDC. The CDC was responsible for those kinds of guidelines for schools.
And you didn't feel an obligation as the lead scientist at the NIH to challenge that?
It is not appropriate to be publicly challenging a sister organization.
I reclaim my time. I reclaim my time,
Gentlelady
Mr. Raskin.
Gentlelady will suspend. It is much more troublesome.
Yeah, you can see a lot of tension in that room. Congresswoman Taylor Greene was actually called out because she did not address Fauci as Dr. Fauci. Dr. Fauci also testified that he and his family received death threats. He denied he covered up any theory of the origin of COVID-19. Lawmakers in New York are ready to put the hammer down on the ability to protect kids who spend a lot of time online. According to several reports, they're ready to sign a bill that would ban social media companies from using certain algorithms, the ones that show violent and sexually explicit content. The law would force apps to show content in chronological order to those on the app under 18. It would also ban apps from those push alerts between midnight and 6 a.m. unless parents allow it. And it would also forbid sales of data.
They're dealing with the negative effects on mental health that is driven by social media and the addictive algorithms that bombard users, creating literally addictions. We're saying enough is enough.
As you might guess, lawmakers are expecting legal challenges, especially when it comes to free speech. If you drink those poppy sodas, you're drinking nothing more than sugar water. That is according to a class action lawsuit. The lawsuit says that there are not enough prebiotics to make it have any gut value. The suit is brought by a California woman against a Texas company. She claims there is only 2 grams of prebiotic fiber. She says you would have to drink 4 to get any amount to make a difference. However, if you drink 4, the amount of sugar nullifies the amount of fiber. The maker of Poppy said in a statement that they are proud of their drink and stand behind their products. They are on a mission to revolutionize soda. The lawsuit is baseless. The founders were on Shark Tank, and that helped get the drinks in Whole Food stores and surpass Coke in U.S. market share. This one right out of a movie. Woman in Nebraska thought to be dead. She was taken to a funeral home where they discovered she wasn't dead. The 70-year-old woman was pronounced dead at the nursing home, then taken to the funeral home where an employee saw her breathing. They called 911, started CPR. She was rushed to the hospital.
I've been doing this 31 years, and nothing like this has ever gotten to this point before.
A 74-year-old female that was believed to be deceased and brought here is now agonal breathing on the table.
I'm sure they'll look at see if new protocols need to be made or if they were all followed.
You can tell by the police dispatch woman's voice. She's like, this is kind of strange.
Yeah.
So far, no charges pending, but there are still a lot of questions to be answered.
So let me get this straight at the funeral home. A hearse pulls up, they take care of their business, and the next thing you know, an ambulance pulls up at the funeral home?
Yeah.
That had to be a strange sight.
Yeah, I guess so. Why is the ambulance here?
But just in time, I guess.
But can you imagine?
Grandma is back.
If you're the employee and you look over there and
Oh my
Grandma's breathing, you're going, wait a minute, hold on.
And they see a lot of strange things, but not quite that.
Like that.
I
Oh,
don't think
goodness.
so.
Thank you, David.
Can you imagine the family? Hey, Grandma.
Oh my goodness. 9:08, 83 degrees.
We'll be back with a look at our forecast. Hey, welcome back. 9:12, and we are at 83 degrees. I mean, it's not cold outside by any means, but that cloud cover is going to be a nice little break before we see those triple digits. Justin?
It's true. The clouds always help us out a little bit, although I'm a little concerned. I'll show you the visible satellite picture here in just a second.
Okay.
Those clouds are going away quick. And I think today is going to be one of our hottest days you're going to see in the 7-day forecast, so just prepare yourself. It's a Tuesday, too, to make matters worse. The height so far today, obviously, is just our current temperature, 82. But we're going to see this climb up quickly. The normal is 91. Look at the record, 100 set back in 1916. That is certainly in jeopardy today. As of now, we're forecasting 101. So that would put us over the top and would be a record-setting day. Look at the record low. 57 set back in 1919. 57 would be fantastic. We're not going to get anywhere near that. In fact, we were struggling to get below 80 this morning. The forecast heat index this afternoon, and here's where we really get into some problems. Here in San Antonio, 111 potentially. Heat index around Converse, 112. Now, this is the peak heat index. It's not going to be like this all day, but once you get into this range, this is when heat illness can kick in so very quickly. And I know we say this every day, and you know the drill here, but we just have to reiterate one more time. And heat alerts are out and excessive heat warnings down to the south. So there's a large portion of Texas here, which is going to be in the same boat that we are with those potentially record-setting temperatures. We mentioned Del Rio, San Angelo, Abilene, all places that could see records today. Here's why. Our heat high really starting to builds in even a little bit more so Thursday into Friday. This kind of cuts off our rain chances and keeps us fairly warm. We'll see slightly lower humidity, thankfully, as we get into the end of the work week and into the weekend, but hot is hot, right? And that's our big heat high, which we don't love, but it is here, and it is looks like it's going to stay around for a while. Here's the futurecast. Now, with all that being said, I do think we could see a stray shower or storm later today. This is one computer model, and by the way, this is really the only one that's showing this, but it does show an isolated storm popping up west of San Antonio this evening. Possible, yes. Likely, no. I think odds are actually pretty low for that, but we'll certainly keep an eye on it. Tomorrow gets a little more interesting because we get some storms up across North Texas, a weak outflow boundary, which acts kind of like a front. It's not really a front, but it's just a push of cooler air. May try to work towards us tomorrow afternoon. If it moves in the right direction, it could spark off a shower or storm tomorrow. So we are going to put in a 20% chance on our Wednesday. Beyond that, though, as I showed you, that heat high builds in, and that pretty much takes any sort of rain chance away. So those are the kind of the two time frames here where maybe we can see a shower or storm. Boy, do we need rain. Canyon Lake, record low, 57.6% full. I mean, that is the lowest we've seen it. Medina, believe it or not, that is a record now too. That takes out the old record back in 2014. It's down to 2.5%. And then the rest of the lakes and rivers aren't doing well either. Choke and Amistad, even Buchanan at 77.7% is not great. So yes, the bottom line, we could use a good soaking rain, and it's just not in the forecast. 82 right now in San Antonio, 84 in New Braunfels, 84 in Seguin. There's the visible satellite picture, which, as I said, these clouds are already starting to break up. And once these clouds break apart and we get more sun this afternoon. It pushes these temperatures up to 94 by noontime and up around 101 this afternoon for that record. The feels like numbers, as we said, 105 to 110, maybe even slightly higher in spots. And we will put in that 10% chance of rain to account for any stray shower or storm. 20% chance tomorrow. Some lower humidity, I guess that's a positive Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And then we'll add in another rain chance by early next week.
Thank you, Justin. JCB is a global construction equipment manufacturer based in the UK, and it's opening a new factory here in San Antonio. This morning, we are at the groundbreaking event.
That's right. Our Tiffany Huertas is live from the south side at the facility located near Palo Alto Road and South Zarzamora Street to tell us more about what this means for the future of San Antonio. Good morning, Tiffany.
Good morning, Stephanie and Mark. You can't miss the JCB equipment all over here. In October of last year, we were there when JCB made the big announcement that they were coming to San Antonio. And now we are at the site of the south side of San Antonio where other manufacturing companies call home, like Toyota. And now JCB will be here this morning. We have state, local leaders, community members to celebrate this groundbreaking ceremony. JCB expects to bring more than 1,500 new jobs to the San Antonio region. They are looking to fill jobs including assembly line workers and engineering positions. And this morning we spoke with Jenna Salcedo Herrera, President and Chief Executive Officer of Greater SATX, who has been building relationships with different companies like JCB. And she spoke to us about what all of this means for San Antonio and Texas.
We have the greatest workforce in the entire country, and we have developed programs with our partners at the city, the county, and the state of Texas to make sure that manufacturers today and manufacturers of the future here in San Antonio have the great workforce that they need.
JCB's move to San Antonio is expected to have a $30 billion economic impact over 10 years. There's so much opportunity here in San Antonio, and this is about a 2-year project. I know a lot of people at home might be interested in where do I go to sign up? How can I learn more? Well, we're going to bring you all those details coming up on the noon show. For now, we'll send it back to you in the studio.
We look forward to it. Thank you, Tiffany.
918, 83 degrees.
Well, he's been an integral part of the local LGBTQ plus community, but now he's stepping down from his role to make room for new leadership. We are talking about the Pride Center Executive Director, Robert Salcedo. And when we come back, a look at all the good work he's done for the community and what his successor hopes to continue.
For the local LGBTQ plus community, there is one main place where safety, acceptance, and inclusion are guaranteed.
The Pride Center started from humble beginnings and is now a thriving organization. Executive Director Robert Salcedo has been there through it all, and after 13 years, he's stepping down.
KSAT's Courtney Friedman got to sit down with him and his successor to talk about past progress and issues of the future.
13 years of growth, grit, and success.
We're impacting a lot more lives than ever.
The perfect time for Pride Center Executive Director Robert Salcedo to step down from the position that had become a second full-time job.
It's time for somebody to take the reins.
Rewind to 2011, Salcedo was a volunteer for the brand new San Antonio Pride Center.
Some of my friends that I was meeting were disowned from their family.
So he helped create a space for people to find their family of choice.
I remember our first offices that we got, and it was literally like a 10 by 10 room. I always joke to say that now where we're located, we moved out of our closet. We came out of the closet.
Fast forward over a decade, the thriving organization has a full-time staff, a drop-in center, case management, and peer and counseling groups.
Why is it important that you have a physical space for that?
Yeah, well, one is safety. To be able to bring somebody into a space where they feel comfortable.
This is one of the places where the peer groups meet, counseling happens, but when the pandemic hit, this space couldn't be utilized, so they had to figure out something else.
They went virtual and still offer online services, offering a wider reach. Salcedo's successor plans to make that her priority.
Taking the visibility of who we are to the broader city, building partnerships.
Meet Lex Loro, the current director of community health, who's been with the center for 5.5 years.
No matter where we're at, where we work, what we do, what church we're a part of, what school we go to make sure that our LGBTQ plus neighbors are welcome there. So that's one of the challenges I see.
She wants to continue training the outside community and empowering the LGBTQ plus community to self-advocate. Goals that make Salcedo beam with confidence.
I know that I'm leaving the center in a very good spot with our staff for the next generation.
For the past and the future, in the end, what he truly has is pride. Courtney Friedman, KSAT 12 News.
Happening later today, a blood drive with a bigger meaning at a critical time when blood donations have dropped by 25% locally. This afternoon, there'll be a blood drive at the Bonham Exchange. The nightclub's been a safe space for LGBTQ plus community for more than 40 years, and now a place for many to give blood, some for the first time.
So it was only last May that the FDA put out new rules that gay and bisexual men in monogamous relationships could donate blood. Those restrictions were originally designed to protect the blood supply from HIV, however, had been called discriminatory following scientific advances that allowed better HIV detection. Salcedo is glad it aligns with Pride Month.
So I think it goes along with Pride Month of being authentic and being proud of who we are and proud of the contributions that we make to our communities. This is just another way for us to do it. And I hope that they continue to do blood drives for our community outside of Pride Month as well.
South Texas Blood and Tissue is hosting the blood donation drive today at the Bonham Exchange, and this is happening again at 4 p.m.
925, 83 degrees. There's more ahead on GMSA at 9.
When we come back, a mother is hoping that sharing her story with others will help them recovering from substance use disorder. She's speaking at an event that's going on today, and our Tiffany Huertas got to meet her yesterday. So Tiffany's going to share her story and help for anyone going through the same struggles.
Today, President Joe Biden is expected to announce a new plan to secure the border. San Antonio Mayor Ron Nierberg and Merritt County Sheriff Javier Salazar are in D.C. for the announcement, as well as other Texas mayors of border cities.
Now, Republicans are criticizing the president's timing, and any new actions are expected to face legal challenges. But as ABC's Christian Cordero reports, supporters of the president say the administration has no other choice as congressional Republicans repeatedly block a bipartisan border deal.
This morning, President Biden is expected to announce a new immigration policy similar to the bipartisan deal that has been stuck in congressional gridlock. Sources say the executive order would set a limit of 2,500 daily migrant encounters at U.S. ports of entry before turning asylum seekers away. The move would have an immediate effect since migrant crossings right now average 3,500 per day. But Biden faces criticism on the timing of this executive action 5 months ahead of the presidential election. Some Democrats accuse the administration of giving into Republican pressure, and some Republicans call it too little, too late.
This is a very desperate man trying to divert, I guess, what is in my mind an irredeemable problem, and that is that he created a crisis at the border.
Congressional Republicans at the direction of former President Donald Trump have repeatedly blocked a bipartisan border security deal endorsed by the Border Patrol Union. And a former Trump-era immigration executive order is still held up in the courts. Biden administration officials expect a similar fate, as the ACLU says, quote, any executive order that shuts off asylum would raise substantial legal problems. The president, keenly aware that immigration is a top issue for voters, has been weighing on how he can act alone, telling Univision in April.
There's no guarantee that I have that power all by myself without legislation. And someone suggested I should just go ahead and try it. And if I get shut down by the court, I get shut down by the court.
A source tells ABC News the executive order will include an exception for children. Christian Cordero, ABC News, Washington.
All right, let's look out there with live cam. So earlier in the newscast, we weren't at 84. So even though we still have that nice little cloud cover, those temperatures are creeping up.
Creeping. Yeah, then they'll start to jump and leap, and then, it'll be so very uncomfortable this afternoon. Hey, we want to give you some good news because I know there's not so great news when it comes to those temperatures. Pollen count, molds are low at 250, and this is all we got. We're kind of in that time of year where we don't have to worry about the pollen count too much. And with rain kind of staying out of the picture, molds have not been an issue. So that is the latest pollen count. Air quality, well, it's not as good. We're starting to see some of that unhealthy for those who are sensitive category start to work up into San Antonio from the coast. We've been seeing this for quite a while now, and it's still just some of that hazy smoke that tends to drift up. from our south. So that could bother a few folks, although hasn't been too bad as of late. That's the latest air quality. And of course, the biggest story of all today is going to be the high temperatures here in San Antonio. We're forecasting 101, which would be a record. The old record's 100. And a lot of places in Texas will be baking today. A little bit of rain up there around Dallas. It's a little cooler for those folks, but not us. The question is, how much longer will this last? And coming up here in just a few minutes, we're going to take a look at the temperatures of the sidewalks and the asphalt and the roads. When you're out walking your dog, something you got to think about. We're going to show you that here in just a couple minutes, guys.
There are people that really care. There are people that are going to support you.
Well, a mother is sharing her journey and story of recovery at an event where health professionals and community members are exchanging ideas and information to support families recovering from substance use disorder.
Tiffany Huertas tells us how local organizations are helping mothers struggling and families recovering.
Julie Ball shares her story of hope and healing to help other mothers going through similar situations.
I would say that the program definitely probably saved my life.
Julie says in 2019, she went into a neonatal abstinence syndrome or NAS program designed to help mothers to maintain a healthy pregnancy while receiving medication-assisted treatment.
After a 3-week relapse on prescription painkillers, on oxycodone, I was seeking to detox in San Antonio, and I learned that I was pregnant with a 3rd child.
Julie Ball says she lost her child in October of 2019. During this difficult time, she received support from organizations.
I went through a 90-day program with NOS rehab, and then from NOS I went to Casa Mia, which is the transitional housing for women.
Today, Julie shares her experience with other mothers and healthcare professionals.
I would want people to know that you're not alone.
It's Julie's 4th time attending the NAS Symposium.
This year I'll share my story on the panel again.
So you expect about 200 people are attending this year's event at the Hilton San Antonio Hill Country on Monday and Tuesday.
It brings an awareness to substance use disorders, and also it brings other healthcare disciplines all together, where we come together united to learn to provide better care for our patients.
Julie looks forward to learning more at this year's event and wants to continue helping more families.
I work for a behavioral health crisis center. I supervise peer specialists, and so just learning like how to better help people that are going through the same things as me, and to help people to gain their life back.
Tiffany Huertas, KSAT 12 News.
Well, if you or someone you love is suffering with substance use disorder, there are cost-friendly and even free options. So the number for Be Well Texas is 888-852-3955. And to get resources from the San Antonio Council on Alcohol and Drug Awareness, you can call 210-225-4741. Well, the days of our friend Bevo grazing the Alamo Dome field are coming to an end, but for now.
For now, the Alamo Bowl reportedly losing out on Texas and Oklahoma for at least the next 2 years. David is back with RJ to explain all of this, guys.
That was the problem. Bevo didn't know that was artificial turf.
He's like, I don't think I like this. I like the natural
real stuff.
You find some natural grass somewhere else other than the Alamo Dome.
Yes. Well, David, interesting days ahead. Obviously, the byproduct of conference realignment. We know a lot of these schools are going to a lot of different conferences starting next year, and it is hitting home with the Alamo Bowl.
I blame the NCAA. They managed to screw this thing up so bad with the NIL and the portal and everything else. They can't get out of their own way. They just keep messing up. And I really feel sorry for Derek Fox in the Alamo Bowl, because I mean, they have put on an incredible bowl game since the day they started, and now to get shunned by Oklahoma and Texas, all I can say is see ya. You know, you don't want to be here, then that's fine. I mean, eventually, I think that Texas is going to wish they had played in the Alamo Bowl because of San Antonio is finally becoming a hotbed of recruiting.
Yeah, we got some
people
really
are
good players
finally
here.
waking up. What? Kid
Michael Terry III from Alamo Heights.
A
Yes,
five-star,
one of the top
right?
prospects in the country.
In the country, one of the top prospects in the country. And Texas is like, nah, we're I'm going to go to the Alamo Bowl and have that kid show up. We're going to go off to the Memphis or Nashville or so. Playing that Music City Bowl in Nashville in like December 31st and freeze to death. Go right ahead. I mean, if you don't, I'm saying, if you don't want to be here, then fine. Back it up, move. And
right now.
like I said, I feel sorry for Derek Fox in the Alamo Bowl. It's one of the best bowl games. And of course, the NCAA shuns him on the playoff thing. They don't even get into the. They don't even get to be a part of the bowls in the playoff. And this is still one of the best bowls, one of the highest watched bowls. Doesn't matter who's in the bowl. More people watch this bowl than most of the other bowls.
That's true.
And I don't get it. I just absolutely don't
let's
get it.
explain what has happened here. So Texas, Oklahoma, they are obviously going to the Southeastern Conference.
Yeah,
the Alamo Bowl had put in a petition to still be able to send out an invitation to both schools because they are no longer in the Big 12. So they were like, hey, you know what? The Pac-12 kind of fell apart. Hopefully we could still get OU, UT to come through. The SEC basically said no. Texas, Oklahoma basically said no, that they are moving on for the moment right now until maybe some new contracts are drawn up in 2 years. But right now it seems like the Alamo Bowl is going to miss out on having burnt orange or crimson cream, whatever it is that Oklahoma Boomer Schooner. So yeah, definitely not a great time here, Dave. We have some comments.
That's
some people, maybe some
beyond your comments,
here.
David.
Let's see if anybody agrees with me. LOL, it doesn't matter because the Longhorns will be playing for the national title.
Wow.
That wasn't me.
Joseph apparently sleeps a lot and dreams a lot.
Whatever, Joseph.
As a diehard who loves seeing
Stephanie.
As a diehard who loves seeing my Longhorns in the Alamo Bowl every other year, I'm glad I won't have to see them in a mid-tier bowl.
The Alamo Bowl is a very good bowl. Yeah, it has been one of the best bowls, as David said. Let's relax.
Better make a Texas team they can select, or good luck selling tickets. Time for UTSA. UTSA may be UTSA's on the rise.
Yeah, I mean, if you're talking about bringing in folks from out of town, then UTSA might not be the
Texas team has less revenue for the town because of their loss. They travel back home, spend less money.
Yeah, there's been an argument there.
There's always been that argument.
You know what, Texas is up the road, so they're not bringing in as much out-of-state revenue.
So what are you going to say when Texas ends up in the Texas Bowl in Houston? Yeah, what are you going to say about that? Huh? Maybe that's the only one they. But I know everybody's already got picked Texas to win the national championship this year, so the season's over. Just give them the trophy.
Stephanie's burner account.
Every year, it's Texas winning the national championship. Go ahead.
You know what? Here's the thing, though. So they can still pick what's called the Pac-12 legacy schools.
Yep.
So some of the schools that we've seen over the past couple of years,
Let's see, we got a list here.
UCLA, Washington, Oregon, they could still get those teams versus a Big 12 school, which is obviously that's going to expand as well.
For the next 2 years.
Arizona and Colorado and all that.
In 2 years, this ain't going to matter because it's all going to be a mess anyway. The way this NIL thing goes in the portal, and it's just gonna, it's a mess now. I don't see it getting cleaned up any.
What happened to common sense in college football and college?
Good
question.
This is fixable for you two if Texas Tech plays Texas State. Problem solved, right?
I like that. There we go.
Yeah,
I knew it. I knew it.
I like that.
Mark Austin, Peacemaker, you're welcome.
That's good stuff.
Yes.
We'll do that. Yeah.
Everybody's happy.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, man.
Except for our Longhorn. Thank you, guys. 9:40, 84 degrees. You're watching GMSA at 9.
We'll be right back.
Okay, having a drink on a flight. An interesting study was published recently in the journal Thorax. So researchers found that drinking alcohol on a plane combined with sleeping actually causes heart strain.
They say that's because air pressure and oxygen levels in flight are lower than typical conditions on Earth. Well, combine that with alcohol and sleep, and you can get an intensified drop in oxygen saturation in blood. So the verdict is, don't drink alcohol on airplanes.
Or if you're going to have a beverage, don't take a nap or sleep. As for what is the best beverage to drink on flights, study authors say the best way to stay hydrated is not Bloody Mary. Drink water.
Yeah.
Yes, before, during, and after your flight.
I don't know. That's what I do. I guess, maybe it's cheaper too.
Right.
And I need to be hydrated and ready for when we land.
Exactly.
Yeah.
To make your connection or go off to your destination. So keep in mind, if you're planning a summer getaway, because it's not too late to score some discounts.
Yeah, CNN's Jen Sullivan talks to a travel expert on ways you can save on a summer vacation.
From beach vacations to exploring new cities, there are plenty of ways to save on summer trips this season. So, when is the best time to travel?
If you visit places in August, you're going to find better deals than if you visit them midsummer.
Travel expert Emily Kaufman also recommends traveling during the week rather than the weekend to lock in lower rates on airlines and hotels. When booking a hotel, ask about discounts. She says many places offer discounted rates to military, first responders, and teachers. And don't forget about AAA or AARP memberships, which will get you a better deal as well. For families, look into renting a vacation home or condo. It may be cheaper than booking a few different hotel rooms to accommodate everyone. And traveling to off-season destinations can help stretch your budget.
Luxury resorts in Scottsdale, Arizona and Palm Springs, California that are usually 5-star prices can come down to 3-star prices during the summer.
Many cities offer special bundled rates to sightsee, so if you're visiting New York City, look into buying a Go City Pass.
You can save up to 50%, and these are international and domestic as well.
Kaufman also says if you're a member of Costco or Sam's Club, you may be able to book your trip through them and save.
They're buying travel in bulk, so they've negotiated special rates with airlines, hotels, cruises, and rental cars.
And finally, book your trip on a cashback rewards credit card to earn points. For Consumer Watch, I'm Jen Sullivan.
Saw Justin working on an adorable weather graphic for this weathercast.
Yes, so we can't forget about our four-legged friends. I got my little Penny at home, and we've had to wait to walk her into the mornings and evenings. Always a good reminder. So let me just put some numbers to it for you. And these aren't exact, but this gives you a general idea. If the air temperature gets up to 95, shaded grass is going to be up around 90 degrees. Grass is going to be about 105. You get to the sidewalk, you're talking about 125 degrees, and then the big time heat is on the street there with the asphalt getting up to as hot as 140, okay? So if you're taking the pets for a walk, you do want to do it in the mornings or evenings because paws can burn within a minute at 140. So if you're walking them on the street in this heat that we're going to be dealing with today, it can happen so very quick. So just a quick reminder there if you got to take the dogs for a walk. You may have to wait till 7 or 8 o'clock tonight, just the way things are going with these temperatures. There's like the clouds and radar, and we do notice that we had some storms yesterday evening across parts of northeast Texas, another round this morning, and then we get more this afternoon. It's been kind of a conveyor belt up there. We unfortunately are not on that conveyor belt. We are to the west of all of that where things have been fairly dry, and I think that'll be the case again today. And of course, we know the heat is on too, so heat alerts, heat advisory is in place for San Antonio and basically the entire viewing area. That pink color is excessive heat warnings. So you have some of those for deep South Texas, and also out towards Death Valley and Phoenix, they're getting some baking hot temperatures out there too. Right now, 82 in San Antonio, 84 in New Braunfels, 84 in Seguin. Cool spots, Bernie. At 79, but they won't be in the 70s for much longer. 83 Kerrville, we've got a good south-southeasterly breeze anywhere from 10 to 15 miles per hour. This is the current heat index. This is what it feels like at the moment. 90 here in San Antonio, 93 in Converse, 97 in Pleasanton. So we're already starting to see heat index values get up close to 100. It only gets worse this afternoon. And as we look at the visible satellite picture, clouds are kind of our one saving grace. The longer they hold on, the better temperatures will be, but we're already starting to see these break up quite a bit. And certainly we're getting plenty of sun south and west of San Antonio. Here over town right now, clouds are still there. And again, the longer they're there, the better it is. We'll see. But I think they will break up this afternoon for sure. 94 noontime, we're up around 101 for a high. Heat index values will be anywhere from 105 to 110, maybe even a little bit hotter in spots. Then we'll add in a 10% chance of a shower or storm this afternoon. We'll watch for an isolated pop-up, but I got to tell you, most of us are going to stay dry. But as we get into tomorrow, there is a 20% chance. And the reason for that, some of those storms that develop up there across North Texas may try to push an outflow boundary south into our area. If that happens, it may stir up a shower or storm. And it would also bring in some lower humidity by Thursday and Friday. which would help with the heat index. Temperatures are still going to be hot. Hopefully a little bit of a pattern change early next week. We've brought down temperatures and put in some rain chances on Monday.
Okay, we'll take those rain chances.
Yes, we will.
Thank you, Justin.
9:50, 84 degrees.
Well, when we come back, if you love a good scary movie, you don't have to wait until October to see one. We're going to take a look at The Watchers in theaters this weekend.
Until then, we are watching cranes over at the San Antonio Zoo, checking out Crane Cam, where I have hedge trimmers. I can show up this afternoon if you guys need me. Let me know.
Yeah, Mark, you need to get some work done out there.
maustin@ksat.com.
We'll be right back.
The daughter of the director who brought us The Sixth Sense and Unbreakable is following in her father's footsteps with a new film.
Well, CNN's Rick Damangeli gives us a look at that new film, The Watchers, in theaters this Friday.
I don't mean to scare you, but we haven't much time. It's not wise to keep them waiting. They'll be very interested in someone new.
It's a window on the other side. They come every night.
And they watch us.
Ishana Night Shyamalan, daughter of M. Night Shyamalan, makes her feature film directorial debut with The Watchers.
How long have you been here? I don't know. You've never seen one.
This idea that we are being observed is something that's a very we're all very afraid of that, this sort of sense of voyeurism, the idea that you might be being watched. And I think it's particularly heightened in today's society when everything you're doing is sort of being looked at and being commented on in this very intensified way.
The film's cast echoes that sentiment.
This movie it's kind of a slow build with that suspense because and the characters that you're watching are also feeling because you don't know exactly what you're being watched by, and I think that kind of that not knowing is what's so scary.
My husband's outside. This is a trick.
What's real? Are these characters, these people that she meets, are they telling the truth? Is this actually going on? What is this structure? What is outside? When I was reading it, there was just so many thoughts of oh, it could be this, it could be this, it could be this.
Don't you want to know what they are?
Watching with the lights on in Hollywood, I'm Rick Damangeli.
I think that's going to be good.
Yeah.
I think.
That last shot was scary.
I can't decide. 101 today is where we're headed. That would be a record. Just a 10% chance for shower or storm. We're going to up the rain chance just slightly tomorrow, 20%. We'll watch for an outflow boundary that may be coming out of North Texas that could help us a little bit, maybe stir up a shower or storm. Otherwise, we'll get some lower humidity, but still hot Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Maybe a little cooler early next week.
You might be on our good side. It's
maybe.
You had some 90s in there, and earlier Mike had straight
Might be.
hundreds.
See?
My station before KSAT, this time of year, the weatherman went live from inside a movie theater. Nice, cool, dark place.
Kind of brilliant.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just wondering if everybody else was like, shh.
Right. Quiet.
But I'm sure it was nice and cool in there.
Yeah, it was.
Good mood. Have a good day, Dad.
Stay cool.